Okay, today is November 2nd, 2020, and the time is 9:45, 8:45. I'd like to state that this recording is for copyright purposes only. My name is Kenneth Wesley Peters. I have sole claim on my name, Kenneth Wesley Peters, and I'm also doing business as Kenneth Wesley Peters. I'd state that this recording is for copyright purposes only. I am the author of this recording. Any reproduction of this recording is strictly prohibited by me, the author, Kenneth Wesley Peters. You see my face in the recording as I'm speaking. You see my lips moving. Any reproduction, once again, of this recording is strictly, in any way, strictly prohibited by me, the author, Kenneth Wesley Peters, unless authorized, I so authorize, or notarize. Okay. So, are y'all following the videos, following these messages? The question is taking the flu shot natural or artificial? The question. I would say it's artificial. It's not hard to see most of this stuff through. If you want to placate, then that's up to you. But I would say that's artificial. It's basically could be corona in a bottle, in a tube, injected into you, and then there's some political number game played. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. Haven't been with it. I always told my loved ones not to be with it. Day 12 was it's pretty tight. If you didn't see that video, check it out. Ghosts in the Darkness, especially part 2. Issuing apologies. Trying to. Remedies. Day 12. It says enter, invest in yourself. So to enter, invest in yourself is within the inner self, spirit, not flesh, not dealing with the outer. And then it says to think about the things you want as if you already have them. Very deep, very true. It's easily said than done to be able to think that way. To stop thinking negative about what one doesn't want, which I'm doing right now, to speaking positive. I'm just doing it as an example. So if you understand it now, don't have me to say it again. The more positive begets more positive. The more positive, we make the situation, the more positive it becomes. No matter how positive I am, though, if you decide to bring negative energy, it does show some resistance. This is the law of electricity. This is the law of nature. And then what I'm saying, aunties, with an S, it could be pretty much the case that there's a religious aspect to that law that is correlated with it through every aspect of life. So day 13, the remedy is when questing, meaning being unconscious and in the flesh, question everything, question all things, all physical things especially. So when questing and as I'm about my journey, in every moment, I'm questioning what I'm encountering. So no matter what it is, if we stop questioning and we just, uh, I mean, let me, let me differentiate serenity to one's faith versus a experience in life where one is sort of in science and discovery, because it seems to be some division between the two, in that in faith one should not be, questioning anything. But I'm not necessarily questioning one's faith as much as I'm questioning what is happening in life, in the physical world. What is going on? What is this measurement 369? What is it that Tesla saw in that, and how did it work? It's creating some sort of reoccurring recyclical. It's a recyclical equation that's causing measurements, or not necessarily causing, but creating patterns. When you measure them, it creates this magical answers to all of these designs in the 369. Too many of them. So in the spiral, you're talking about the golden spiral, and they say that the universe is spiraling out, that it's new, and that it's folding out like unbundling a package that's being, you know, a Windows package, a bundle of apps, or I keep comparing the universe and the natural world to the artificial, because the artificial mimics and the mirrors, but in the opposite. So good than evil. Uh, Black, white, and as we're into this color thing, if you're gonna play a color game, right? If you're playing the color game, understand that these words were created by certain people in history, and white was put and directed to uh, the Caucasian Europeans, and is pegged to light, which is Light, light, and then there's Lite, light. But the light, shining light, the Light, or lightness, which is not necessarily clarity as well. Clarity is a bit different. That's why you have a different word for all of these meanings and terms. So if it was exactly the same, then you would need a different word. Like with black and dark. Black was created by a European origin to be a nemesis to white. Okay, this is the thing, Bev. We talked about these things, I'm sure, and we agreed on most of them. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but black is something that the tribe is owning, and we put our fist up in the air too. And I know we've been doing this for a long time, and you'll say, well, that was a long time ago, and this is the way it is now. This is what we claim. And listen, it doesn't fit into. If you're trying to fit into the U.S. system, it doesn't fit. It never did. That's how you've been hijacked. This was what Taj Bey is saying to you. Am I on board with everything that the Moors say? No. Anybody that is, I think, is pretty much faking. I can't. I'm my own snowflake. At the end of the day, uh, it's no saying everything. With any particular snowflake, it's always a different design. They say anyway. It's always slightly different. So it can't be on board with everything. But one thing I'm on board with them is is the name Black, claiming the name Black as a nation. Okay, if you're going to do that, then you have to create that nation. You have to claim that nation. You have to have enough people to create that nation. You have to actually create a nation, and a nation that's going to be respected on the playing field of nations. This is the thing. So we have these illustrations. So we're going to go over it one more time. So day 13 is questing when questing. Question everything. When questing, question everything. What is a quest? Well, a quest is the letter Q. Why? The letter Q, it used to be the question mark. It used to be two letters. It used to be two letters. I can't remember which letters it was. I think I and there was another, maybe G. And they put the letter together. I have to look that up because it was real interesting in how Q came together. I can't remember if it was a symbol. I think the dot, the hook of the J. It was maybe two or three symbols that made the question mark at the end of a sentence back in the Old English days, and then they merged it into just one letter, which is Q. But to be on a quest truly is to be looking out, envisioning out. Now, I don't mean to be facetious in any way. I don't mean to be um, distasteful. But in pimpology, street pimping and hoeing in the street, yes, the pimp says to the prostitute, male or female, to look down at the ground, to do not explore. That means that if you're exploring, then you're questioning something. You're questioning the kingship of the pimp. You're questioning or questing for answers. And the prostitute is only supposed to be focused on getting the pimp's money. This is the thing. So now, in comparison, the vision itself has an energy to it. Looking at someone puts energy on them. That's why when somebody's not looking and you're staring at them intensely, they feel it. They turn around and look right at you and ask you why you're staring at them so hard. It has an energy to it, a force to it, vision, like Superman's vision. That's what they're showing you in Superman, that your vision actually has a force to it, and you're questing out. How do we know? It's very windy today. But how do we know that we're on a quest in this life? I'll give you an example. So J was the hook in the Q. It's the hook in the Q. It was J because you journey with J. This is how I know these things, because I've looked into J. I've unriddled some of the rhymes of J on my own. Can write my own book. Once you get into this matrix enough, you can start discovering things for yourself. And this is stuff I've never read. But I did discover that when I looked up, I think it's in, matter of fact, Wikipedia, you may find it. It's been on Old English dictionary that the letter Q, or quest is the letter J, and I believe the letter O maybe, and then one symbol like a dot. But at any rate, it means to be on a quest is to be looking out, and to be looking out, you begin to question things. When we see colors, and colors create the dimensions and the shapes and deftness of shapes of buildings, trees. In the darkness, we see a blank screen, and we call it black, but it's truly just dark. There's no black. Black is really BLAUE, I think in French, like blague or blank. Black is really blank, meaning that there's no shapes, there's no dimension. You can't see what's in front of you or coming at you, because the case is not nature. What it is that your master has been programming you, you see, to only utilize 10%. This is what Obio was trying to, the Nigerian mathematician was trying to, I think I got his name wrong. Help me out with that, Uncle Sam, if you out there. I think it's Obibo, something like that. Says something really deep, that the issue of Roe versus Wade tells you, through the studies of one's intelligence, that one could only use 10%. Now, everybody I talk to admits that, in their high school, not in high school, elementary school, you were told, go an entry level, that you could only use 10% of your brain. A lot of instructors said, but they really meant mind. And that, yes, brain and mind function, because your mind is utilizing the brain to utilize the functions in the body and the system, to build something, create something, see something. So you're not seeing colors, all the other colors. You're not seeing all the other colors. Now, what happens with the so-called black? I'm not foolish. I know you see something, an effect that's occurring there. Those are multitudes of colors creating an effect, which is darkness or deafness. This is why these words come together and they rhyme together. This is what master rhyming comes in at. Not just trying to rhyme two words together so that it sounds rhythmical, but actual deep meaning. Dark is really death in science. People are afraid of what death is, or deafness, the deepness. The deeper you go, the more these colors pile and compile upon top of each other and compound, creating a dark effect. So when you look into the purple people's pigmentation, you see darkness. And the European created this term black to hijack the kingship of darkness and pigmentation, let's say, just for starters. But the actual visual darkness that humans experience, cats may not experience. They may have a better vision in dark, what you call dark. So you say that the cat is something evil. You see, Auntie, it is man's corrupted system, including religion. See, it all has to be questioned. Because we're questioning. Well, I'm not questioning nothing. Well, you're questioning me. You questioning why am I, saying something like this when you done taught me something different. Something is array. Are you ungrateful, for what I fed you? No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is very important. Sebi said, I'm coming out of Sebi's camp, by the way. I'm not coming out of nobody's soul food kitchen. I'm coming out of Sebi's cell food camp. Now, did I eat garbage yesterday and this morning? Yes, I did. Did I have trouble in the restroom this morning? Spent some time in there. Hard head make for, a soft something. So I'm only talking about the things I know about. Now, Sebi says something like, "This is really what I'm saying." But really, it makes point to where he's going. If it's something sweet you seek, then what is good for you will desert you. And this is very true. Therefore, if you're eating dessert, it is probably not good for you. But then it depends on what you consider dessert. Most of the healthy things come with a bittersweet taste at the most, a bittersweet. But there's something sour in there for whatever reason. It's loaded with something that's going to energize your system. This is the point. And then when we look at these illustrations, we begin to see other things when we get slightly beyond 10% for some reason. Not to say that I'm actually at 11, but at moments, I can get a little bit beyond. And I know this is an important illustration to a lot of people, me too. And it's a beautiful, artist from artistry, this perspective of an artist. But unfortunately, I see some things happening here in my ethos family that needs to be addressed. We continue to lose for some reason. We continue to be on the bottom, pushing up the rest of this pyramid structure and buying into it for some reason. We get a few ethos people over here in America and maybe Dubai, and they can take a few hot shots and pictures like Ethiopians really got it going on, but I'm sure there's a lot of struggle happening. This is what I'm getting. Real news. See, Gozilla is about real news. We're not about placating like DC Georgetonians, or really east of the Riverians, for that matter, who got something on from Iverson Mall that they didn't pay for, but you have a need to have on a new pair of sneakers instead of learning a skill. And then you won't have to go get a job. You can work for yourself, cutting lawns, and in the wintertime shoveling snow. This is what it is. Why are we not? Why is there no backing in the blacking? Because black is a ghost. Positive vibes. We've been doing this for how long? And the Million Man March went down when? Nobody got into a fight, but then Spike Lee made a movie when everybody was fighting on the way to and on the way from. How long do we have to put up with these imbeciles depicting our life in a placated way? You know what I'm saying, bro? And in a fashion to only benefit for themselves. So my friend said, who beat me in fantasy today. As a matter of fact, congratulations. That they are here. People have come here on the backs of the struggle of the '60s to gain civil rights. Now, all these groups of people are here stepping on, just like even worse than Europeans that ever did, worse than Europeans ever did. The Hispanic community is here has no respect for with all due respect, with all truth, real talk. In Seven Corners, there's no zero, pretty much respect for the Jesse Jackson's African American community. Then you got people who are black, who grew up here in Washington D.C. There's no respect. Now we didn't respect them in the '70s when they were coming over here in the early '60s. The Spanish population coming over here, there was a lot of dishing going on, you know. Um, so yeah, it go both ways. But at the end of the day, these contracts are going to Spanish workers. They got the whole 7-Eleven coffee counter surrounded early in the morning. You can't get in there because they only let their other contractor in, partner, when they done. And it takes each one of them at least 15 minutes to make their cup of coffee. It's an issue. I have respect for working people, but you need to get out of my way. This is the thing. The construction contract industry is corrupt and one-sided and only hiring Spanish contractors, whatever. But can I get a cup of coffee? Huh? You don't want me to refer to you as brother? I just use the word generically, bruh. Can I get a cup of coffee? So the song, I can't put my lyrics together to save my life no more. I'm done with it, but I'm getting back in the studio because this is it. What else? I was hoping I was wrong, but apparently, you know, um, a reset has come early. I thought it was going to be 2024. Trump mentioned 2024 in the debates. And it is 2024. Something happened. Somebody did something. Something went on. And, diabolical sees opportunities to take advantage of things. So, you get a fake situation with you get a lot of simulations. You may have had a George Floyd situation where that was simulated like a Hollywood movie, bro. Now that may have went down, it may not have. What it sparked is something that's going to be blamed on you and people who look like you. This is what's going to go down in their history. That black people were dissatisfied with America and decided to burn it down. That's called that's a major hoodwink. So not only have one suffered an L, can't admit it, too arrogant to admit it, but then one goes and for a sucker move to be hoodwinked into history as the ones who burned down what was so-called freedom. Was never no such thing here. Liberty is not freedom. See, over here at Gozilla.org, we do our due diligence. Now, if you thought liberty was freedom, shame on you. Go back and do your homework. Look the word up. If that's what you thought, son, you know what I'm going to say to you. Go look it up. All right, now let's go look this up. 1 and a 9. Let's go look up. Let me get my just to show you, Ethos family. I love y'all. If I lose you over this, then so be it. I got to do what I think that God is putting me here to do today. All right, don't mean no harm. But here's your symbol for 6. It's also the symbol for number 9 in an ISO image in reverse. So if you flipped it this way, it will become a number 9. It's also P for my name, Peters. It's also an E. If you turn it up in this fashion, it becomes an E. And you have B, E, E. You have 2 double E's at the end of B. I wonder why. For another day. Okay, now as we get down and we get into the hands, now my pixels in my cheap phone are not very good. We have three little young, I think little girls. What Ethos girls looks like. This is an Ethos illustration. I see the Ethos looking faces. Somewhere around about the Horn of Africa. And you have what looks to be a cross. Now this may be a design in the garment East and West. But the cross is pointed down and is pointed to the head of the center of the baby. So then you have the three, 1, 2, 3. 3 is the magic number. Just understand, we're going to go in on this today. 6 is always not so good. So 1, 2, 3. Would that be 3 6s? 3 E's, 3 number 9s, which is fine. But that's in the reverse. So that's the ISO image. That could be the artificial side, like Alice in Wonderland bird, the image in the mirror and all that good stuff. Not so good stuff. But it's Halloween and all that not so good stuff. Behind the head you have the sun rising for some reason every time. Okay, so now we're pegging our faith, religion, not necessarily faith, but to science, which is the planet, the sun. See, so now we have in the fashion of this direction, diagonal, which is as above, so below. We're getting a lot of wind, and that could be the Lord. You're getting a lot of, something. So I may need some restitution. Hey, for real, kid, I get y'all now up and down, right? As above, so below. Here we go, each and every time. I'm gonna need some explanation on that, Christian family. All right. See, it's not about the faith that's being called into question, Auntie. I'm here to warn the faithful. I'm here to tell you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 candles, whatever that means to your faith. I'm telling you that these things are being done in code. They're using Jesus. They're using the angels. They're using us. They're using good people. And whether anybody saw it or not, see, it's not for, one to see until it's time to see it. The time is now. 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 It's time for you to see it. You see, the time is now. Here we see a cross in the downward position. 1, 2, 3. We see the colors of representing Ethiopia, the birthplace of humanity so far. We understand. You hear the howling of the wind, crashing on something coming. Yes. And we know this. Now looky, a chocolate chip cookie. As above, so below. You have the tips touching the blue in the sky, or up to the heavens, down to below the earth. This is the point. And where do they have the 3 little Ethiopian babies? But down in the dirt, in the darkness. How do we continue to hold up the pyramid and the light? The light is in their world is the white. The light is white. You see, this is what they are saying. And the darkness is the dirt, the soil, the mineral, the compound, the physical. Not the spiritual, not the spirit, not the light, but the matter. Black Lives Matter. You get it? You got it now? We've uncovered the riddle, haven't we, Mr. Larry Gators? I think he said that too. It's in science. I already knew that. Black Lives Matter is a very vulnerable statement. Blue Lives Matter. It's already been compromised. See? But if you said all life from black, maybe, which that don't even work either for me anymore. All lives from dark matter actually works in science. All life from dark matter. ALDM. Aldies or Aldums. Almost oldies. All life from dark. That makes sense in science. Can't be messed with. That's why Purple Wall Street needs a nucleus, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Yo, that don't mean nothing. Yeah, it do. It does. It needs to be impenetrable. If it's in rhythm with what is real and natural, then it works. Nothing is negative is supposed to be messing with it, and if it is, it's gonna get dealt with. This is the point. If you stay natural, you die natural, then you ascend naturally. Will ascend. But if you become artificial, you start running scared. See, taking a needle from a human is fear-based. It's fear-based. It's fear-based. What's also fear-based? Walking out into the forest in the darkness, like Nature Boy, and trusting in God to lead him to the correct fruits and herbs to survive. That's a true pilgrimage. That's a real journey that a man would take out of the New York projects to go to the forest in South America and just walk through the jungle. Sebi took off his shoes when he walked into the courthouse. Why? Because he was attempting to further connect to the soil where his ancestors lie, where the information lies, where the electromagnetic field lies, to energize him to say what needed to be said, to walk out of there a free man, and to be able to say the things that he said out after that, and do the wonderful things that he did and is doing. If you are telling, if you are in truth in nature, then if something is taking you out, then it's time to go out. This is the point. It's time to roll out. This thing is artificial now. The money's artificial. The drinks are artificial. The water's artificial. The tea is artificial. And there's always been these human created artworks and images that we bought into, but we did not critically take a microscope into to see exactly what was going on in there. But see now, the nephew that you taught, Auntie, right? Bev, Bird, reading to me the Christian word. Now that you've taught me, and I grew up not being able for people to run game on me because of what you taught me, I'm back to say, hey, Ma, and I really mean that. Let's really go in on this so we get it right. I want to get it right. I want to leave a better path for us, our offsprings and bloodline to come up and get it right. Don't have to go through a whole lot of foolishness. We know what's up on both sides of the continents. Why? Because we need each other. We always needed each other. We don't have to like each other. You don't like me over there in Ethiopia? Good. I'm coming anyway. And I'm gonna eat some Ethiopian food, and I'm gonna drink some good coffee, and converse with my people. Uh, that's what's up, man. So It's a lot going on. It's a lot of artificial. You don't know the difference between artificial and natural. You have been, put under a spell, cast under a spell. It's called black. You know, you want to play a color game? Well, we the purple people over here. We have a political agenda over here with the purple people. First people are the purple people are the first people. If anybody looks like Jesus, it's the purple people. You see. So, if anything, we're going to create some artwork that properly represents our Jesus and God the way that we see it. This is a new day. Out with the old, in with the new. You want to do a reset? This is not a glitch, bro. You want to do a reset? Then we're going to do a reset over here as well. This is the reset. We're not waiting for you to show up. There's millions of people out there that agree with me in our group, in our tribe, and outside of it. They know that I am speaking the truth, and they know I know what I'm talking about. And I have not cracked open a book since I started talking. And it's been close to 40 days of talking. Have not cracked open a book. You go crack the book open and look up liberty and freedom and tell me the difference between the two. And if you're still talking about liberty means freedom, you need to do your homework and do a little more stone turning. Do a little more stone turning. Again, when questioning, question everything, son. Forget about what your uncle talking about. Forget about what your pops talking about. Forget about what your dad talking about. Forget about what your mama talking about. Forget about what the pastor talking about. Forget about what minister talking about. Forget about what the computers and them talking about. Forget about what the TV is talking about. Forget about what they are talking about. You on your own journey. You on your own journey. So my advice is to head north. Because Satan is going to use your children, may use the closest people to you to stop you from moving north. And you're going to notice that. If you haven't already noticed, I'm pretty sure you have. Satan will use and look for your weakest area to exploit to stop you from moving north. And all compasses point magnetic north. It's the point that I'm making to you. And when you write with God, then like KennyWest was saying, all that other evil shit goes away. It's no issue. Ghetto, project, whatever. Who holding a gun? You holding a gun on me? I'm right with God. You making a vital mistake in your life doing that. That's how powerful that energy is. You see that energy. Take this whole building down. This is the point. This is the point. This is the point. And why not do critical analysis? Why not do critical analysis? You saying that this is it? This is the most important illustration and depictions of, well, who was the artist that did it? Was it God? Was it Jesus that did this? Did God do this or Jesus do this? Or did some human being do it? Did Michelangelo do it? Or some new stage artist might have done this? We just supposed to go for that? How about vetting everything? How about vetting everything? Like you may say, well, that's the wind of God. Well, I might say that might be AI pushing the wind artificially. You don't know what you get on this planet anymore, Auntie. You see, maybe not wanting this word to get out to 20 people who follow me because maybe it's the truth. Maybe I've been pushed in a corner, and this is what I'm telling you all. The closer you move north to whatever is there, it must be something liberating because it seems as though there's all types of traps out there that Satan will set to stop you from getting there. This is what has occurred. You said, but look at that God wind. And what's it? Well, maybe that's an artificial wind blowing that the AI is creating. Well, how can the AI create wind conditions? Because they have this thing called a harp. You didn't know about that. Well, maybe you don't need to know about it. It's government taxpayer dollars used to create devices that will lift the ionosphere, so they say. Really create a lot of disturbances in the atmosphere and in the environment. You know, real scary stuff. But you don't know anything about it because you've been busy, watching Potomac Housewives. And, listen to them talk about how you two doctor be in they circles. But you down with that. Somehow that's cool. Okay. So we got a lot going on here. A lot of explaining to do. Not for me to explain it to you. You explain it to me. Because see, Christian family, explain this to me, please. Why do we see this shape? Do you know that this is pot? This is the golden ratio, and yeah, it sure is. Boom. It's also the yin yang, and you can come back this way with the other one, and you get the two tadpoles looking beings, like I said, alien looking beings, which could be, human, fetus, could grow into, the 9-month trimester. It's a lot happening in this symbol. You all, no doubt. Now, look at the hands are in the 6 o'clock position as the cross goes down. Right here to this point on the clock is a six o'clock position. Then the hand at the tip here at the thumb is definitely at the 9 o'clock position. You got the 6 and the 9. Here you have the 3 babies, 3, 6, 9. We see 3, 6, 9 all up in this. We see 3, 6, 9. Now again, the 1 and the 9 equals 10. 10 is the end. In science, 9 is the last number. 10 is the beginning again. So 10 is sort of like just a number that tells you that you're beginning to start over. That's why there's a 0, there's a 1, and then there's a 0. And then you start off again with another 1, which is on again. So on a computer, you have the pole, pole, or 101, which is when you push the button, the computer turns on. It may have it here. I don't know. It's too hard to see, but it used to have it on the older computers. So I covered a lot. I'm sure this is about to stop. What's happening, y'all? All right, we're basically being tested by an artificial system now. The money is going to be, Bitcoin is going to be cryptocurrency operating off blockchain. There's blockchain to run it. There's mining. that is taking place, physical mining on digital systems that use GPUs to speed up the functionality of the computational ability of each computer node or computer unit. That's why we're getting into Linux. That's why we're getting into deeper into computers. And my part with Gozilla is to show people how to download Linux, how to run a Linux interface, upload the interface, and a bit of online commands, just basic general online commands. That's as far as Gozilla's going to go because this stuff gets real deep. I'm not that deep into it. You know, I spent my life driving buses and stuff. You know, I just know where we need to be. I was taught by some very sharp people who knew where this thing was going. This is the point. It don't matter. It does. It just is the point. Does it make sense to you? You don't need to know where I get the information from or how I learn what I learn. I put in a lot of study. Yes, I put in a lot of book study. Yes, I did a lot of listening. Yes, I did a lot of debating. Yes, I've done a lot of critical thinking. You know, uh, now when you're in this hot button situation, you're acting on emotion. You're acting on emotion, and you're missing the picture of what is actually happening and going on in your life right now today. Now, cousin, I asked you, you for Trump, you for the conservatives, you and all that. I got you. But I asked you out in Maryland at the family reunion. I ain't been to maybe but two. Okay, this was maybe 10 years ago. I asked you about Agenda 21. I said, "Have you heard of Agenda 21?" Because I saw that you seem to be one of the people in the family who actually cared about certain issues. So I could when I asked you that and you weren't aware of it. I knew that you probably had a lot of homework to do, man. I saw you in Silver Spring with your daughter. I asked you something about Sebi. I've been mentioning certain names to you to try to come through to you where I'm coming from, bro. We already knew all these things were going to occur. This is no accident that all of this stuff that's happening in these streets. The movie The Joker was the last movie pretty much. The other one never premiered with the white people was killing somebody or in some kind of game, you know, killing game or something. That never dropped. That came on Netflix or something. I haven't seen it yet. Joker was the last big one to drop that was really deep into psychological warfare and thinking and truth. It was actually tapping into certain neurological uh, uh, truths or neurological pathways that leads to truth or leads one to recognize and open channels. That's what that movie was doing. It was preparing. Watch the movie again. Go back and watch the movie. You think it's a conspiracy theory? That's why I keep saying, dumb. Go back and watch the movie. My man was calling us something nasty heads, D heads.